Come on, you mother. Meek.
Yes, sir.
How you feeling today, man?
Not bad, not bad.
You're not nervous, are you?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's normal, man. That's good. That's
Yeah,
right where you want to be. Actually, the
yep.
more the more nervous that you can be, the better. I found because you got it like part of recovery and really just getting better at life, man. You got to do shit that's uncomfortable for you.
Yeah, I am.
You know, that's
Yep.
the only
I,
way you're gonna fucking win, overcome your demons. You got to do shit that scares the fuck out of you. And sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose, but you always show up regardless of how you feel, you
yeah,
know?
even if you lose, it's not as long as you get back up. That's it. That's not a.
You can never lose telling your story because um you know, you being vulnerable, Ashley being vulnerable, and everyone else in the group that's willing to be vulnerable, not only will you help people in your community, but you'll help people in our community. Because there's
Yep.
a lot of people that just don't want to talk about their shit.
Yeah, you just don't want no one to know. You want to make sure
Right.
everything looks good from the outside, and then, yep. Yeah, that's a big part of forever. That's how I felt.
Yeah,
That's
me too,
shaped
man.
shaped who I am to this day a lot.
Yeah.
Just making sure everyone else sees whatever I want them to see, but that's none of it's real. So just sitting down and figuring out who you are as a person. I don't think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, it's painful for a lot of people, man, especially for us men who develop all the vices and all the comforts, you know.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, they get the best of us and they turn us into versions of ourselves that we're not proud of, and then we have to fight in order to redeem ourselves and discover who the fuck we really are.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's it. That's it.
we know who we don't want to be. We figured that out.
Yeah,
We figured that shit out, dude. And I'm sure like you, I had to bang my fucking head against the wall 80,000 times to go, well, maybe this time I'll do it, And
yeah.
then you
Oh
drop the
yeah,
ball again. And dude, I dropped the ball so many fucking times. I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And, when
yeah,
we come across guys like you and everyone else in this group that I think is pretty much in that same place, it's a beautiful thing when you can put everyone together because
Yeah,
there's going to be many times where one of us is fucking, not in a good place and we're all going to lift each other up,
yep,
you know? That's where the real power in community comes from when it's real and people didn't have to pay to get there because chances are you pay to be in a group or whatever, you're going to get what you need and you're going to bounce. But if you
yep.
realize that showing up consistently, what up, dog?
what you saying, boy? You good,
What's
yeah?
happening, man?
Yeah, yeah,
Good
all good,
morning.
man. Good morning, brother.
Showing up consistently is what we need more than anything,
Yep.
you know? And that's really where all of our power was lost in the past was, what up, dog?
What up?
Good
Going on,
morning.
Vinny,
Yeah.
boy?
Morning.
Everybody's got that good energy today. You could see it, man, for the most part, I feel great today.
I,
Oh, me
f-
too.
Um,
I feel
Awesome.
nervous. I feel nervous as fuck.
yo, I
Yeah.
hope you are. If you're
Yeah.
not, if you're not nervous, then you're fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
for
you
sure.
should be nervous before you came on. That's the first thing I asked Michael. I'm like, yo, you nervous? He goes, yep. I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
good. You
yeah,
should
yeah,
be.
yeah, for sure.
But listen, like I said to him, here's the power in this. You guys being vulnerable today with sharing your stories, it's not only going to help people in your community, it's going to help people in our community and
Yeah.
communities all around the world because
Mhm.
a lot of people don't want to talk. They're so afraid of what everyone's going to think about them. But the power of sharing your story is that it breaks down those walls for people to where they feel like, well, shit, maybe I'm really not that fucked up. Like maybe there is hope for me.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys, like what you're doing, man, I tip my hats to both of you because it's difficult. It takes a real man to be able to do it, but it's life changing, not just for you, but for many other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
How
yeah,
does
so I,
how does it work? Are you going to be asking questions, or we just
yeah,
you?
so
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
we're gonna we're gonna quiet the mics. Michael's gonna go first because Mike, you got half an hour today.
Yeah, yeah. I
Just
got to
like
pick up the kids at 8. So
Yeah.
Michael will go first.
yeah.
Um, I'll ask all the pertinent questions. If you guys have any questions for him when he's speaking, put them in the chat. And then, when he's done speaking, we'll all talk about, what he just discussed, and then we'll do the same thing with you, Ashley.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
that's good to me, mate.
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll wait till Tony shows up here with that ugly Broncos hat, man. We got to get some eagle green up in this place, man.
I'm gonna fucking leave it now.
no choice.
Oh, good.
All right. So
Yeah.
without further ado, if you guys want to quiet the mics here, and we are going to tell the story this morning of Michael Roy. Michael Roy came to the MTF family. I'm not sure how you came to the family, Mike, but you did, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that you did. You, like many others, you got a story. You've been through some things, and like we were just discussing, your story is not only going to impact the members in this group, but it's going to impact people all around the world. So first and foremost, man, I applaud you for having the strength to do this. And however, I don't want to be intrusive on your story. So I like to just let people tell their story, and then I'll ask questions as I see fit.
Yeah.
Does that sound
That's
good?
good. That's good. I've been to therapy, so I've got it out all before, but in little bits and pieces, and I never really thought about the whole story at once. So I tried yesterday to sit down a little bit and see, can I write it down? And I kind of started backwards. I started writing from like where I'm at right now, why I'm here, and then try to go backwards a little bit. And it's it's a little jumble of everything, right? Because everything ties in together. But I think the biggest part for me is like a lack of self-confidence. From as far back as I can remember, even as a little kid, never really fit in. I tried every single sport, I did everything, but I never excelled at anything. So I just kind of floated around. It's an expression to me comes to mind often, like a little leaf floating in the fucking wind, just wherever it'll take me. And that's what it was. So when I was young, I always wanted to try and fit in. Got bullied a little bit, but then figured out really quick that if you give that shit back, well, then you look good. So I kind of got ingrained in me real early that you can push people down and pull yourself up. That's the only way I kind of kept myself afloat for a long time. So I developed really bad habits from early on, and that carried through my entire life. Fell into drugs, I don't know, like 12, 13 years old. Like smoking weed. I used to make cannabis oil for like a decade,
Yeah.
Used to make that shit, and it was just to make sure I had enough for me all the time, right? I did that for a long time, and it was just a way to escape reality, right? Because I never felt like I belonged anywhere, and I just float around from group of friends to group of friends, just whoever will take me, whoever will go along with it, and whatever was easy, Never had a really hard life, never had no big thing when I was a kid that was out of the ordinary. But because life was always okay, I never really had to put in any effort. Never really had to work for nothing. So take everything for granted kind of shit, and then no purpose. And I never found who I was. I'm always mimicking what everyone else is doing, always following the crowd.
Yeah.
Fucking smoking weed. It was, I don't know, could be half an ounce a fucking day. I had unlimited amount, so it was just nonstop.
So anytime you were awake, you were high.
Oh yeah, from the minute I got up,
to numb your feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like just smoking weed wasn't enough, so I'd have to make cannabis oil to make it stronger, and that just all day, every day, nonstop. But I always had good grades in school. Always did the minimum effort, but I always got like 90s and shit. Was never hard, so I just floated through. When I started working, I always kept a steady job. Always, showed up, did all my shit, but I was always fucking just zombie through it,
Right.
Then, got into alcohol really bad. I was like 16, all the way to 20 something. Ruined, I don't know how many relationships with girlfriends because I was high, always drunk. Every time I get a good one, I do something fucking way out the way. I got 3 different DUIs for alcohol. Paid each time, had a good lawyer, $5,000 a piece, get fucking wipe that shit clean, but, total a bunch of cars. So spend maybe, I don't know, like 25, 30 grand on stupid shit. So started having, debt. Oh, always paying it off, but always just getting more and more and more. And you just get in that little wheel of you're just working for fucking to pay the bills, and there's no purpose, no reason. At one point, I was thought I was gonna give up making cannabis oil, and said I'll do it one more time. And I blew up the apartment I was in. Got burned all over my body. I got like both my arms, the skin grafts, fucking like completely spent. Fucking like 4 months in the hospital. They took all skin from my legs to make my hands work again. Had to do rehab for fucking years. Everything works good. I'm lucky as fuck because it could have not, burned all the tops of my ears are all fucked. My forehead's all fucking.
Did you keep smoking after that?
That was it. That
was it for you.
That was it, man. Yeah, all the
That's
windows
usually what
fucking
it takes
flew
for us,
out.
right?
That's crazy, man. Like I was in the bathroom when it happened. I passed out and I woke up with blood everywhere. I smashed my nose on the toilet bowl, broke my nose, blood everywhere. Like all I could see.
How
was
long
like
ago was that, Mike?
2011.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so I was like 20. Wasn't
I think
just
God
a little
knows.
kid anymore. I was still fucking, a man. Yeah, fucking doing that shit.
I think God knows, man. Like we need certain things like that to happen in order for us to stop.
I wasn't just a little. It had to be.
Right.
You gonna die, motherfucker.
Correct.
That's
for you to really like
Yeah.
appreciate your life.
Yeah. After that, I
You
had
know?
like a while where I felt like unstoppable, right? Like after I got out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna change it around, and I'm gonna give it a good go. And I've had these moments 5, 6 times in my life where I'm like, yeah, all right, this is it. I'm really gonna go, and I'll do it for a while, for a couple of years. I'll be fucking. But then you get comfortable, and you get back into it. Then for a while I was eating super clean. I wasn't drinking, no nothing, and then eventually, well, all right, I don't have to wear my compression gloves and shit. I'm good to go. So whatever, I'll go out with the boys to the bar, and we'll get drunk and hammered and this and that, and then you just fall back into it. And
Yeah.
So I went to prison for that for fucking like 8 months. But the job I had at the time, they liked me, and they kept me on. Like I was supposed to have felons or whatever, but they kept me. When I came back, they still had my job. I became like the director there afterwards, and there's no more upwards momentum, so I switched out from that. But like I'm still trying to be a good person, but inside there's nothing, right? There's no spark. I'm just going through the motions forever, right? And eventually, after that, I met the mother of my kids, and she was a nurse, so she was impressed by my scars, right? She's like, "Oh my God!" Like the first time I met her, she spent like the whole evening like looking at my arms, and it's a weird thing, but yeah. So was with her for like 10 years, and that's down the drain now because I went back to drugs and alcohol. I used to do a lot of amphetamines for a while when I was younger. I'd quit for a bit, but then I picked that shit back up. 3 kids, trying to work
Stress.
a job, being a boss
Pressure.
and everything. Like, okay, I can perform more with this, but that's the excuses you give yourself, right? Like, oh, I'll get more done. But emotionally, I've got zero emotional intelligence. Fucking never developed that shit at all, right? I'll just do anything to get my way. I'll fucking lie, cheat, manipulate, fucking whatever it took to. It never seemed to really bother me, but deep down, I know it does, and it fucking destroyed what I had of me. But I just pretend it wasn't real. I just give myself all the bullshit excuses ever, and then just pretend to the world that Mike's fine. Mike's always fine. How's it going? Fine. But no, fucking never was, right? Eventually I just fucking, broke down, and yeah, that's it. And she tried fucking forever to get me to fucking look inside and realize she knew, like she knows, like she got that empath thing, like 100%. Like she fucking sees right through me, right? And so that's where I'm at now. Just losing that now is really the hard part. So I think I know what needs to be done, what I have to do, and I've probably known the whole time. Just didn't want to look in that mirror, didn't want to face it. Just so used to that easy, comfortable fucking life that everyone else around seems to have, but I don't want that shit no more. I don't want to be like fucking everyone else. I don't want to fucking pretend no more. I don't want to just exist for fucking nothing, right? There's got to be a purpose. There's got to be a reason. There's got to be. So 2021, 22, did therapy. I, really try to give up. I haven't touched drugs since then at all. Have an occasional drink once in a while until now. It's been like a year. I think I haven't had a drink at all. So I didn't really plan on it, but it just happened. I'm like, why not? It's happening. So fucking let's go, right? If I hadn't joined this group, I probably had a couple of drinks last week, but give me that extra. Fuck it, I'm on the roll. Just go with it. It's happening. I'm enjoying it. So yeah. So fucking had a really good go in like 2002, 2003, eating healthy, working out, doing therapy and all that. We try to get back together, but it didn't work out. And I think I was trying to do all the right things for everyone else. I'm doing it for her. I'm doing it for the kids. I'm doing it for the family. I'm doing it for everyone else. But I wasn't doing it for me. And I think it's, and I was still going like, why don't they like me more? Why I'm doing all the right things, so why am I not getting all the validation from everyone else that I fucking want since forever? But I don't think
Well, maybe you should rephrase that. Instead of doing it for you, start doing it for God. And put God first in everything that you do. Take yourself out of the equation. You have to live like God wants you to live, and he wants you to be the best version of yourself. So all the shit that you've been given that for a reason. I think you kind of sifted through all of it, and now you're right where he wants you to be. So stop saying me and start saying God. And that's how you're going to live your life moving forward. The only way that you need to validate yourself is with the work that you do every day on yourself. That's where social media has become so detrimental to the minds of people that are struggling, because they put themselves out there and they don't get the validation they were seeking, and it fucks them up even more. And then they start comparing themselves. Well, why did Matthew get more likes than me? Why? Like, I must suck. That's how it works. And that's how the devil gets you.
Yeah. I mean, why does my neighbor have this? Why does my buddy at work have
Of course.
that? Why does my friend have this? Why do I? And it's always, and just lost all the appreciation for what I had. Now I've lost it all, right? Like if I can.
Good.
But
I say that in a sick way, but I'm
like,
dude, you don't understand. When you lose it all and you are at the bottom, you will be like no other motherfucker on earth, dude. You won't. You look at Matthew. I see Matthew last night, dude, screaming about doing how many half marathons. I'm like, you could just see it in him, dude. Like, normal people will see that and be like, this motherfucker's on drugs, because they don't get it, dude. They just don't they can't go there because they've never been there. You can't fake that shit. You just can't. You can act it, but people will figure you out eventually.
That's it. And I've done it before. Like, I've gone through this cycle. I'll cycle through this, get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm doing pretty good. Well, fucking stop all the effort now and fall right back into it. But just because I get that little feeling of, I think everyone thinks I've done enough.
Well, your
yeah.
issues are the same as all of ours, and especially mine. Alignment, alignment, alignment. You know, our habits align us with the person that God wants us to be. So as soon as you get all your habits in alignment and you truly understand why you're doing them, then they're non-negotiable
Right.
because
It's
you
fucking
already
hard to
know
step
who
out of
you
there.
create when you don't do it.
Yeah.
You know who you became. You felt that pain, you know? So now alignment is your life moving forward.
Yeah, I get it. It's the who am I, you know? Who do I want to be? Well, time to make choices,
I,
right? It's not. It doesn't just fall from the fucking sky. That I always kind of had that thought that I'll be who I wanted to be at some point. It'll just happen, right?
yeah.
That's not how that works. You gotta put in the work. You gotta.
You have to be around people that consistently put in the work, that you build relationships with, that you don't want to let down. You know,
That helps.
we show up here every day, man.
Yeah.
You know, every single day there's multiple people showing up and showing out to keep everyone in alignment. You know, none of us in here are competing with each other, and that's the beautiful thing about it. Everybody has their own gifts. Everybody has their own pros and cons, and we just show up, man. And if you continue doing that moving forward instead of what you've always done your entire life, you're going to fall in love with yourself and your life. But
Yeah.
you have to stay aligned. As soon as you come out of alignment and you give into those voices, you can have a little bit of a vape, Michael. Who cares?
Yeah.
Just wear some gloves this time. You'll be fine. Yeah, that's how the addiction talks to you.
Yeah.
It's fucking it's fucked up, dude, and it'll get you. You know, I'm coming up on 5 years sober. That shit creeps in on me sometimes too. It'll still knock a little bit.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it'll knock, and I'll tell it to go fuck itself real quick.
Yeah.
You know, but it takes a lot of time to be able to develop the inner strength in yourself and the self-respect to understand.
I had that work party on Friday, and I was stressed all week that people are gonna offer me drinks. Be like, come on, just
right.
Not one person offered me a drink at all. They were all just interested in, you lost a lot of weight, you look fucking good, and they're all asking me positive stuff, and no one questioned it. And it kind of clicked in me. I'm like, okay, they're seeing the change in me because they're talking to me different. It's different.
Your energy is different.
But I don't see the change in me yet. That's like, and I'm like, okay, I gotta stop seeing myself as who I was. I think I've never allowed myself to step out of that. Maybe we're just comfortable in our own fucking
it's imposter
bed we
syndrome.
made, Yeah. Also, but I think you feel comfortable in your own chaos that you created, right? And you could step into that better space, but it's scary because it's new and different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was nice to see that. I think other people are seeing it. Maybe I can allow myself to see it too, But yeah, and then am I still pretending? Am I just performing so you guys think I've done enough? Or am I really satisfied with myself and I'm proud
That's
of what
why
I'm doing,
trying
so
to
I want
send
to keep
people.
doing.
That's why I'm trying to send people to the chat that you can help, that people in here can help, because you'll really feel so much better about yourself. That's why we do these meetings. Because when we're in here and we're listening to you, we're not thinking about us. So in turn, it helps us.
Yeah.
Because the majority of the day we're trapped in our minds. So if we're focused on your story, how can we provide solutions to you? It makes us feel good about ourselves. It makes us feel whole. Same thing. I find people that seem to be struggling on the internet. I'm going to send them to our group. Yo, guys, can you hit this person up? That's how we help people. And I always feel good, after I do it. The more you do it, That's who you become. So you feel good about yourself because not just because of the vanity, the outer stuff that people see, but the inner stuff that you feel.
Yeah.
You know, you don't feel that darkness anymore. You feel the light, and now you're a light giver because that's what you seek.
Yep. Oh, yeah, you get what you give. I find a lot, life works that way. If you just pushing out bullshit, well, life's gonna give it to you. But if you always try to put out good, be good, do good things.
That's right.
Life's gonna smile back at you. I mean, it's there's always bumps in the fucking road and shit, but big majority picture, it gets a lot better. So
yeah,
yes, I guess I've been through it before, but to stay consistent, not tired of starting over.
I remember seeing you in quite a few of the groups there, like the Goggins group. You were always posting in, I think. And you were one of those guys. You were one of the most consistent. And then I never saw you again. And then somehow you pop back up, and I'm like, yo, I know that dude. He went through some shit too, just like us. He's one of us.
Yeah.
He needs a new home.
It started getting good again, right? Like,
that's what happened.
Went back home and everything, and then I was like, okay, well, I can put that aside. And I lost it all because I thought, you just got to get to that little finish line, then it's all done. But there's no finish line.
Never.
There's no finish line. That's how you got to see it.
Every day's day one, son. That's why I say that. I didn't just pull this shit out of the sky, dude.
No.
Like, everything I say because I need it.
Yeah.
Your biggest battle is you. Every day is day one.
Yeah.
If you're not focused on this shit, man, guess what? You lose.
Yeah.
You raise that flag, that victory flag, and you get a little too high and cocky with it. Guess what? You're gonna get knocked down. You're gonna get knocked right on your ass, and it happened to me, dude. I relapsed on coke and almost died. And I was a year into my personal development, and it got me. And and that was it. That was it for me, because I know that there's no coming back again if it happens to me again with my marriage,
Yeah.
I do that to her one more time, man. She is gone.
Yeah.
She's been there for too much.
Right.
She's an angel.
I'd love to be back, with Amanda and shit, but I don't think she's got it in her, and that's.
Be patient, man.
But
don't push anything. Just keep doing everything you're doing, and God will provide.
Yeah, that's it. And I've always tried to push to get her back so much that pushing her away, and going to work on me, and then the rest will work out.
Yeah.
As long as I get me right.
Right. Then people chase you. You don't chase them. Then when you get you
I'll
right,
be chasing myself anyway.
and you're completely aligned, you attract everything into your life.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. Especially when you start to see it happening and you feel it. It's real.
I just got to make sure that I see it happening and not see it as a finish line. I got to make sure.
Well, now you have the tools that you didn't have before. That if you're committed to this stuff all the time, there should be no reason why you ever, listen, maybe something happens, but realistically, man, you should not slip again. It just shouldn't happen.
No.
Take that shit out of your mind. Like depression, all these, the stuff I used to battle with, it ain't touching me no more. I'm not going to allow it. I feel it. I know I can go there. I can go there. But I'm just not going to allow it because my habits won't allow it.
Yeah, we got better shit to do.
That's it, man. Yo, I appreciate you sharing your story. I see you throwing your belt on. You got to roll.
Yeah, I got to go, but that felt good.
Good, man.
I worked myself up yesterday for it, but then I
know you did.
Halfway through, I just shut it down. I was like, fuck it. It's me. I know what it is. I don't need to.
You don't have to write it.
No. It
I
just
saw
felt
you
good
writing. I'm
to,
like, what are you writing? You lived it. You don't need to write it.
right?
What are you writing, a
Yeah,
script?
it's just to get it in my mind
That
a little bit,
I
and
get it.
I
but
know.
then I was like, stop it, doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
me, right? That's
That's
all that
it,
is.
dude. You're you're
Thank-
you're a lot like me. You overthink shit. You overanalyze.
Uh,
Just be confident. And if somebody doesn't
yeah,
like you, somebody doesn't appreciate you, fuck them. You
that's
know,
it.
simple as that.
Yeah,
I know I
you're
did what I had to
amazing.
do, so we're good.
That's
Thank
it,
you,
man.
Mike, for being there and sharing that story with us. I loved it. So good.
All right.
Thanks.
I was happy to do it, guys. It's felt good for me, and if it can help anybody else, that's all that matters, right?
Stay
Might as
locked
well
in,
not
player.
waste. Yeah, might as well not waste that experience. All right. Well, have a good go, Ashley, and hopefully I can watch it later.
All right, brother,
See you
man.
guys
Have a
later.
great day.
Thank you.
Ashley, you good? Deep breath. Deep
Oh,
breath.
sorry, man. I
Well,
couldn't. I was trying to
your
find
phone charged? Your phone
it.
better be charged, bro. You're
Yeah,
dying
yeah,
out on us.
yeah. No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
So
I feel a
listen,
little.
man,
I'm
I
a little bit
appreciate
shaky.
you.
But like, yeah,
I know exactly how you feel right now. I
yeah,
could
for
see
sure.
it in you, but
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you right now, dude, when you're done, you're going to feel like a new person. And every time you do this, it will get a little bit easier for you.
yeah. I just hope
You
I
know,
can share a clear message because I feel a little bit like I don't want to like my mind like jumps all over the place. So I'm going to try and stay as grounded as possible and share a clear message. So yeah,
yep,
let's go for it.
you got it, brother. Same thing as Michael, whatever you're comfortable with telling your story. However you want to start it, I'll ask questions as I see fit.
Yeah. All right then, guys. My name's Ash. I live in the UK, born and raised. Um, I I grew up on a council estate, one of the biggest council estates in my area. Um, and I grew up in a dysfunctional home. Um, my mum and my dad were both addicts. Wait, let me turn this fan off because it's annoying me a bit. Um, yeah, so I grew up in a dysfunctional home. Mum was an alcoholic. My dad was an addict. Um,
Mm,
and I just remember as a kid just it being chaos in my house all the time. We had like my house was well known for like attracting all the drug addicts to the house because it was like a squat really because we just had all these I remember seeing all these like random people in and out my house all the time as a young boy and yeah it was like the police was always coming to the house and I was witnessing this as a very young boy like 5 years old um, and then one day there's a knock on the door and well actually before the knock on the door my mum was going through a lot of different partners like because she was on drugs as well
yeah.
and her partners used to abuse me. So I was like being beat around and stuff like that. I remember, this guy, the guy that my mum was with, his son was squirting deodorant over my dinner, and I saw him doing it. So I told my mum, and then my mum's obviously got into an argument with the dad, with the guy she was with and then he's took it out on me. And I remember he just like slammed me against the wall, bust my nose. There was loads of shit, man. Like he was just like clipping me around the head, just like yeah, just So I had a bit of abuse, like from a young age, and then I must have said something in school or something. 'Cause I remember one day there was a knock on the door and I've gone to the door and there's some random people stood there and they just grabbed me by the wrist and like took me into a car and I never saw my mum again. So that was the social, and they like took
Mm.
me into care. Um, so for the next like 6, 7 years, I was like going to different care homes. So I was like in foster homes, and yeah, pretty rough. I just remember the feeling. Not even not like I loved my mum dearly, right? I think we all do. But I just remember that feeling, the pain in my heart of just not seeing her, and like it just broke my heart. I remember I used to look out the window, like wondering where she was, and yeah, that went on for years. Eventually, I started seeing her again on the visits, and yeah, and then it was I started seeing her on the visits, and then about 6 years later, I got released back to her, and she was still an alcoholic at the time, and eventually she drunk herself to death. And I was already off the rails then. I was already like, oh, oh,
Sorry, man. Get it out.
man, I weren't expecting this to happen. I thought I was just gonna fucking.
It's what you want to happen.
Oh, I can't even speak right now. Wait.
It's all right.
Yeah. So when I came out of care, I was I hit the road straight away with all the big boys and that, and from a young age I was involved with like all kinds of crime. It was just like I thought it was cool, you know what I mean? So I was hanging around with all like the older boys at like the age of 12, just like being a nuisance. And I had no rules. I had no rules at all because my mum was an alcoholic, so I could do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I had no dad around, so I was
No
just out.
structure.
Yeah, I had no structure whatsoever. I was living. I was the man of my house, even though I had an older brother, but he was out doing his own thing. So I was the man of the house, and I had a little sister as well, and I remember I was like I was like when my mum and her dad split up, I was like I was like her dad. I used to go get her from school, make her food, and I was doing this at 12 years old. And yeah, so yeah, my whole teenage life was bad. Like I was taking drugs every day, selling drugs, involved in like all kinds of violence. Like I was a good person. Like I had people around me that I like to look after. Like I was like in my group. I was like the main boy. Do you know what I mean? So like everyone would come to me if there was any issues going on. Like or somebody was like, it seemed to be me that everybody would like confirm shit with.
Right.
And like to be honest, man, like all the shit I was doing in my teenage life, it was all an act. Like it was just like. I put on this like gangster act, and it was far from the truth who I really was. Like deep inside, I was in fear, but I just hid behind the drugs and the alcohol and just played this character like I was, this super confident guy, which is something I wasn't. And
Hmm.
anyway, so yeah, eventually, uh, yeah, we was known on the estate for being the poor family. We was all, we were so dysfunctional compared to like I had all my friends that they had like nice family homes. They're well, so it looked like, um, but I always remember I used to look at my mates and be like, "Fuck, man, I wish I had that." They had their dad around, their mum was there, their mum was like sober, like they might have drunk or something, but they wasn't like my mum. My mum was on the vodka in the morning. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So um yeah, and like Michael said before, I was that kid. I never felt like I could fit in. I always wanted
Right.
to I felt like different to everyone else, and I kind of forced myself into these scenarios. You know what I mean? I just like the drugs and alcohol allowed me to do that.
Sure.
If there weren't no such thing as drugs and alcohol growing up, I would have probably isolated from all this shit. But it kept me in these circles of like,
Yeah.
you know, self-destruction or whatever. But yeah, so in my teens I started struggling actually. I had a real bad anxiety condition, depression as well. So I was in and out of the doctors. Um, they was
And you
putting
had
me,
started drinking around that point?
mate. I'd already. No, I think the drugs and the alcohol caused that.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started using drugs and alcohol when I was about 11. So that was when I first started drinking and smoking weed. And then when I got to about 16, 17, I started having real bad panic attacks when I was sober.
Yeah.
So if I was in a group of people and I was sober, somebody might crack a little joke at me and I would get into like I just couldn't, I was so sensitive.
Yeah.
I just took shit personal. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah, so I was in and out of trouble with the law all the time. Luckily I never went to jail. Um, I I dodged jail, luckily, many times. I always say God was with me because, there were so many situations where I should have gone down, but for some reason I walked and it was like I don't know what happened there. So yeah, so my mum died in my early 20s, right?
Mm.
So it was such a sad thing because I had my own flat and I tried helping her at the time. So she was on the streets and like because she was with this guy that I didn't like, and I was trying to help her, but she just kept going off with this guy all the time that was a drinker as well. And I took her into my house, into my flat. My partner at the time moved out temporarily so I could help my mum, and I brought my mum to my flat and I phoned up like a detox center and basically explained that my mum needs help. She needs like to go into like I can't remember what it's called, like a detox center anyway. And they wouldn't help at the time, right? So I was just like I didn't know what to do. I'm a young boy, like fucked in my own head. You know what I mean? I'm still caught up on the drugs, but I could see my mum was dying. So I was like, oh shit, I don't know what to do. And anyway, I took my mum in and then she started getting a bit sober. And then one day I'd gone to work and I come home and she sat there with beers. And I'm like, where the fuck did you get that? And she was like, oh, granddad gave it to me. So
Mm.
my granddad, like, because he was a bit of a drinker as well, he bought beers around for her. And I was fuming because like I was so close to getting her into this place for therapy or whatever, or to help her get off it. But then
Yeah.
she went from that day, she just like she was gone again. And then yeah, I think it was a few months later, I get a call when I'm at work and they said, look, you need to go see your mum. She's in hospital. She's not going to make it overnight. And me and my brothers, we went there and it was fucking, mate, I was fuming, right? So they told us that she was going to be sent to Oxford to get a liver transplant. So we was all happy. We was like, yeah, she's gonna make it. She was yellow as fuck, like green, yellow. Her eyes were bright yellow. She was swollen. She was massive. She was swollen as fuck, like all her arms, her legs. And I was sat there and I was like, right, my mum's gonna make it. Everything's cool, right? An hour later, some nurse comes in and they goes, "Oh, we need to speak to you outside." So me and my brothers have gone outside, and they was like, "I'm really sorry, but they've refused it now." And I was like, "What do you mean?" They goes, "Yeah, we spoke to Oxford because this is her second time doing this. They're saying that she's not going to get the transplant." So then I'm like, so now we're all sat there and we're like, right, she's gonna die, right? And man, it
Mhm.
was it. Oh
How
man,
long ago was that, Ashley?
sorry.
How long ago was that?
This was, I believe, in 2015.
All right. So we're coming up on 10 years or
Yeah, yeah,
a little over 10 years. Wow.
yeah. So, and I remember, like, it honestly, it was the maddest thing. So this is what made me really believe that there's something beyond this life, right? That this physical life, right? Because she was unconscious, right? She was only making noises for like 2 days, yeah. She didn't say a word. She was led in the bed, yeah, going like this, like making noises. She couldn't speak, right? Because she was literally just about to die, right? On the last hour before she died, me and my brothers and my sister were surrounded round her bed, all holding her hands. She all of a sudden opened her eyes, sat up in the bed, and she goes, "I'm really sorry," and hugged all of us. She fucking hugged. She woke up and she gave us all a hug, and she said, "I'm really sorry." And then she led back down, and then within like the hour, you could hear her breath getting shorter and shorter, and she went. And like me and mate, it's absolutely like it get like I just can't believe it. Like it was just
Incredible.
it was almost like because she was like talking to something, yeah, and it's like something told her like, look, you need to apologize before you go because
Mm.
she obviously knew what she put us through, right? And and she knows that we was trying to help her as well, and she like
Wow. That's
oh
powerful, man.
it was like mate the way she came back for that to hug us all and like there's no way she like how did she know like do you know what I mean it was like but yeah so that that day she died I think I was already going out on benders and stuff but I went out to the after you know the wake after and I got fucked up. I was sniffing. I was up for like 4 days straight. Didn't like I
Mm.
didn't go home. I had a missus at the time, two kids as well, which is something I'll get onto in a minute. But yeah, I just didn't go home. I was out partying for like 4 days straight, just trying to block out it. And I remember on the day I did go home, I just collapsed in my bed and I cried like a baby. I was just like I was screaming in my bed. I was like, the reality hit. Do you know what I mean? What's just happened, and I just couldn't. I didn't face it for them 4 days, and I remember I wept for hours, and my partner at the time would just like she was trying to calm me down, and I was just sobbing like so much, and yeah, from that day on, I still didn't change. I carried on living the life I was living, smoking weed every day. I was, going out on the weekend, going to work in the week, and then partying on the weekends, getting fucked up. My circle of friends were, I say they're my circle of friends. They clearly, well, I don't know whether they're friends or not, but they were just associates. You know what I mean? That I would go
Sure.
out and every weekend the same.
There are other lost souls.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, man, it was a vicious cycle I was caught in. It was like I had this gangster mentality, like I said, when I was younger. Like I it in it's probably the same for every young boy. Like we were programmed to think that the gangster life was the way forward. I mean, we watched it all in the movies, and it was like programmed into us that was
Glorified.
yeah glorified and I couldn't escape it. Like I didn't because every time I was like trying to be normal. I didn't feel like it was me because I played this character for so long. And it was so hard to adjust to this person that was like not this fuggy piece of shit that didn't care about anything. Like it was so hard to like get in tune with this person that is actually a nice guy and cares about people and uh
Right.
you know it was so hard to do that. But yeah, my relationship with my partner that I was with just before my mum died, she actually left me 3 weeks after my mum died. And I've never shared this with you. I was in a bad place. Like, mate, that made me even worse.
Of course.
But I've never shared this with you guys. But I've never done this before with you guys. But I actually have two daughters that I don't see anymore. Because my ex-partner, when we broke up, I was still having contact with the girls, but where I was so unstable and I was not present enough in their life because I was running around doing all this shit on the streets. And there was a few occasions where she turned up to my house where I was staying to drop the girls, and I was never there. So she'd had enough because the girls were crying all the time, saying, "Where the fuck's daddy?" And I wasn't there. But like, she knew I was in a bad place, and I feel like she used that as an advantage because she met a new guy, and he had like a bit of money, and she'd moved hours away up the road. I wasn't driving, so it left me in a vulnerable place. I still take it. I know it. Like, I should have done more, right? But I was so caught up in the madness that I couldn't even fucking. I just couldn't see straight. You know what I mean? I had no support around me, no parents to support me, no family to support me. The only bit of support I could get was by like reaching out to a doctor or something. But that, like, I just couldn't find the support that I needed. Um, so yeah, and then still haven't seen my girls, but that's why I'm doing this because I want to. The door's always open for them, but they're like 12 and 11 now, and I want them to see the best version of me, not
Yeah.
and
The
and
healed
and
version.
yeah, the new version of me, and it's like. I've got a son. Obviously, you've seen pictures of him, and I'm the best dad ever to him. And I've got two stepchildren as well, and I raise them, and I'm really good support to them. And I'm giving them everything that I never had. When I grew up, I'd never had nothing like I'd give to them. So that was the lesson I learned. How important it is to be a good role model to the kids. So yeah, man. So um, where am I at? Uh,
Your girlfriend left you, or your partner left you 3 weeks after your
yeah,
mom
yeah. So
passed.
yeah, so she left me 3 weeks after my mum passed, and that sent me off the rails even more. Well, yeah, I was already off the rails. I couldn't have.
Right.
It didn't get no better. It didn't get no worse, or I was just living the same life, and that went on for years, and then
Mm.
I was single for like 5 years, and this is when I started isolating. So I wasn't going out anymore, but I isolated myself from the world. I wasn't working. I was just sat in a room smoking weed, meditating, and doing stuff like that because I started going on this healing journey. And I used to smoke weed and meditate, and then something happened. I don't know. I just disconnected from everything, and I stopped hanging around with like I wasn't seeing anybody, right? But like now and again, I would have this random like episode of like I'd bump into somebody that from the past, and then I'd end up going for a few beers, and then it would just spiral out into a mad session again. So I actually pulled
Yeah.
away from all the sniffing and stuff, and but now and again it would come about.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I started pulling away from that lifestyle, and it just but I was smoking weed, so I was using weed as my outlet because that for me it didn't seem like I was as bad,
Sure.
even though mentally it was fucking me up because I don't know what I was doing. So like I would smoke a spliff and then I'd be terrified to leave the house. So but I used to love the buzz it gave me. It took me away from that feeling of emptiness. It filled me up a bit, made me feel full.
Distracted you.
Yeah, it distracted me. And so that went on for years. I was picking up a 3.5 a day, smoking that every day for years, right? And yeah, and I remember, like I said, I'd smoke a spliff and I wouldn't leave the house. I'd be too terrified. Like if I bumped into somebody, I couldn't even
Couldn't
have a
talk.
conversation. I couldn't even talk.
Right.
I couldn't. I used to look. I used to walk down the road with my hood up and wear like a mask over my face. If I saw somebody that I knew, I used to run away because I was like, oh no, they can't see
I've
me
been
like
there.
this, bro. I
Yeah.
was so messed up in my head. Like I was so.
That's the addiction. It makes you feel comfortable inside, but
Yeah,
you're really not on the
yeah,
outside,
yeah. I know.
you
Yeah.
know? It's so
I,
weird, man. I've been there.
but I had some of my mates that would smoke weed, like that, because that's who I was chilling with now and they was absolutely fine. They could smoke weed and just be
Yeah,
normal. But
same.
I'd smoke it, and I'd be like, I'd the anxiety would just come, and I'd like when I was around people, I was like, fuck this, I gotta go. Do you know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
could, like, mate, my brain
Couldn't
wouldn't
control your
like,
mind.
I couldn't control my mind at all. It would
Yeah.
come too loud, and but yeah, man, what a waste of life. Like I'd done that for years and years and years. I thought the weed was good for me, but I don't know why, because it didn't do nothing at all. Do you know what I mean? Apart from make my mental health worse.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, so I met my new partner. So I had my, like I said, I had my own flat in the town I grew up in, and everybody knew me because I was like on the street, like all the street people knew me. So every weekend, people would like holler you up and be like, "Yeah, where you at?" Like, "Yeah, we got some bags, like the sniff and that." And I was like, "Yeah, come to mine." And then it would just turn into a party every weekend at my house,
Yeah.
and that went on for years and years as well, right? And then I met this girl, the girl that I'm with now. She don't drink or do any drugs or anything, right? I met her through Facebook, and she like kind of pulled me away from that life. She see this position I was in, and she. But basically, I moved in with her. She lived out of the area in another county. It's like just up the road a bit. So I left. Yeah, I literally I left all the shit in the flat, and I just left because I was like sick and tired of people that I knew around the area. I was like, I caused a lot of shit in the area as well. So, I felt awkward in that area because I was known for the bad shit,
Yeah.
and I felt like I got no hope here because like everybody, even if I do try and change, people's always going to try throw dirt on me, like, or whatever. I know it don't matter what they fucking say, like, especially in the position I'm in today. Like, I'm caring a lot less about what anybody could say because I know what I'm standing on today. But like, yeah, I had to move the area. I had to have a fresh start. So I moved out and I moved in with this new girl, but I still had the problem. I thought the problem was there in the area, but the fucking problem was me. It was me, the problem. I thought it was the area. So I've moved over here and I'm stuck and I start like
Same
drinking
guy.
again. Same guy, still like knocking a few beers back here and there and like calling up guys shadily, like creeping out the house, yeah, meeting guys down the road to get little bits of fucking coke off them. And yeah, that also went on for years as well. And my health, yeah, my health was deteriorating so bad. Like I was on death's door. Like I was so I couldn't even walk a mile without losing my energy and feeling weak and lethargic. It was
Mm.
like I say, I was on death's door. It was scary, man. But I knew I knew there was something inside me that knew there was a better life beyond this, and I always wanted it. I'm going to jump back a little bit. It's only going to be quick, but I remember walking down the road when I was about 18, 19 with one of my best friends that I was growing up with. And I said to him one day, I said, mate, I need to stop doing these drugs because I know that I'm worth something. There's something that I need to be doing on this planet that I'm not able to do whilst I'm living like this. And I said that when I was about 18, 19. So I carried on for another fucking 10, well, about 12, 13 years. I carried on living the way I did, like wasted all that time. But yeah, like I say, I've always felt like there's been a calling for me to on this planet. And I feel, and I've always said it as well, I want to help people. So for me, getting sober and working on myself, um, is allowing me, because I even notice now, like when I'm bumping into people, because I'm living what I'm living now, it's naturally coming out of me, and I feel like I'm like kind of helping people like to that want to live a better life. If I see anyone that's struggling, I can kind of talk to them about where I've been and where I'm going and what I'm doing to stay well. And obviously, you guys are a massive part of that as well. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. I know it's only been a few months, but I've been nosediving all the way on this journey in this year. But since I've been with you guys, I seem to be climbing up a lot faster than I was before when I was doing this on my own. Do you know what I'm saying?
We all see it, man. We see it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
because you're putting the work in. You know,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
all.
yeah,
That's all it is, brother. Like you bury your old self every day with your habits.
yeah,
You either let that little pussy in you breathe, or you just beat his ass every day.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's why we don't stop, and we say every day is day one, because we give him a little bit of room and he just takes over, man.
yeah,
It's game over for me, you know. Um Something as little as, you know, my spirals, as crazy as it sounds, is like, I'll give you an example. We One of the guys that works for our company, our carpenter, we had him at the house yesterday, and he's doing all bunch of odds and ends. He's been there for the last couple days, like all the stuff around the house that I don't want to fucking do, which is great. And he's way better than me anyway. But I come home yesterday morning and there's a pizza on the counter. Michelle got him pizza for lunch. And it's such a battle, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Like, I could easily bury that whole pizza. And then guess what that leads to?
Feeling
That's a
shit.
complete shutdown for me. So then it leads to the next meal. And then if I let that continue, it just starts a spiral. And my
Yeah,
self-esteem drops, my energy gets low, anxiety gets high, I get depressed, and it happens like 2 or 3 days.
yeah, yeah. For sure.
So I get it, man. We've all struggled with it. Now we just don't let it. We don't
Yeah,
let it
yeah,
breathe.
yeah. Yeah, mate, I know I'm still in a place where I've got a mountain to climb, but
You do.
I feel so energized to do it. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like I said, having you guys on this journey as well, like it's just amazing to be able to like support each other and stuff. And um, but yeah, so I don't know whereabouts. I don't know whereabouts I was with the story.
So what was the defining moment for you when you said, "All right, I'm done. I'm done with drugs and alcohol. I'm changing now for good." What was that moment for you?
So within the last my last year of using, not this year being sober, the last year of using, um, I was like, I kept saying to my missus, right? I was like, I said, I'm just gonna have one more blowout, because she used to hate me using, because she knows what it done to me mentally and physically. Um, And I kept saying to her, look, because I would go to work, I'd get all stressed out and just wouldn't be able to manage with life. I'd be lashing out at people, being a right dickhead. And then I used to like blag her up. I'd be like, babe, please, like just one more session tonight, and then I'm gonna get clean and sober and stay sober. And that went on for the whole year. So I'd have periods of sobriety, like a month, sometimes 6 weeks with nothing. And then for some reason, I always went back to it, but well, because
Yeah.
I didn't have good, healthy habits, and I would always go back to, having a mad blowout that would go on for a couple of days. And it was that for me, I felt like I needed it. I was like, I need this shit. If I don't have this blowout, I'm going to be miserable and fucked for the rest of my life. So that went on for like a whole year. And then, like I say, I was like I felt like I was on death's door. My heart was pulsating every time I'd done that shit. I felt, really like I was just so unstable mentally. And I remember the last time I did it, I was I was led on the bed upstairs, and I actually thought I was going to die. And my missus said to me, she said she gave me the ultimatum. She said, "Look, if you want to live this life and go kill yourself, then you can go and do that. Like she said, it's up to you. You got a family here. You can either fucking sort your shit out, or you're gone, kind of thing." So at
Yeah.
first, so the next day I went to AA, right? Alcoholics Anonymous. I went there, and at first I wasn't actually doing it for me at first. I was so like, I was so like caught up in this like dark place. I didn't give a fuck about me. I was so caught up in this dark place.
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I didn't give a fuck, like, whether I die or not. Like, I know it sounds selfish as fuck, but that was the mindset I had. I was like, but anyway, so I was doing it for them at first, the kids and the missus. I was thinking, right, I've got to sort this shit out. I can't do it on my own. I've been trying to do it for fucking years, and I'm not able to do it. So I went into AA. Now, I'd done that for like 7 months, and I met some really good people in there as well. I still chat to some of the guys today, even though I don't do the program anymore, just because for some reason I just didn't like the program, right? And we're all different, and I just didn't like the way how it's structured and the way it works. I mean, maybe that was a dickhead me inside me, the dickhead in me, that my ego or something. I don't know, but I didn't like the program at the time, so I left. Um, but yeah, so and then I just kept staying sober on my own, and I knew that I had to work on myself, but I wasn't doing enough of it. It was like, I'd have a few days off and think, I can just chill now, and eating shit and takeaways and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And and to me, eating that, like, if you like you just said though, Michael, like, if you spend a couple of days eating shit, your old self turns right back up. The fear, the anxiety. So that's why it's so important to stay on the grind every day and keep growing. Because if we start stepping backwards, we're practicing old behaviors, and then that's going to lead to a fucking relapse. So
Correct.
um
That's what I learned from a coach. He said, "You, we control who we become through what we ingest. And once we get complete control of what we ingest, we take control of who we are."
yeah.
And I didn't understand that until I actually did it and felt the power of it. Being at parties where everyone's eating pizza and whatever they want, and not giving in, the power that you get from that. For guys like us to be able to have self-control over food, if you can't control food, how do you think you're going to control drugs and alcohol?
Yeah.
So it starts with the food. If I lose control of the food, I lose control of my mood. It's as simple as that,
Yeah.
and that's really why personal development, fitness, it's a big part of this, because you can't become your best self if you're not focused on what you're putting in your body. You just can't. That's why you see so many people in AA. Maybe that's why it didn't work for you, because it's like, yo, you guys are sober, but half of you got diabetes.
Yeah.
Half of you
Yeah.
can't even do 10 push-ups. Like, what is that? You're sober, but you're not discovering. That's right. You're not discovering why, like, who you really are.
The,
Sobriety is a gift. It's a
Yeah.
gift. And when you use it properly, like God wants you to, you become a monster, a
Do you know,
savage.
yeah, like the other day, I think I shared with you the other day that I went to one of my AA buddies' house, and he said how well I looked, right? But like, I love this guy to bits, but he's put on weight. Yeah, we met in AA in the beginning, right? And he's got the same amount of sobriety as me, and we were both overweight. And when he saw me the other day, he just had this look on his face, like he felt awkward because like he. I could see it written all over him that he looked at me and he was like, "Fuck, what the fuck is this guy doing?" Like he looked ashamed because like he'd been putting on weight. He's got chocolate bars on his side, and like and it's true, man. You
You
can't
reminded
accuse.
him of everything he hasn't been doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like he looked fear. Like when I was chatting to him, yeah, I sounded like I was like going in, like expressing myself, yeah. And he just looked timid, and it flipped because like he was the guy that was above me, yeah. Like when we met in the AA, he was the big talker. He would like drop banter on me, and like I'd feel like a bit of shit, and like, and then this time it flipped over.
Role reversed.
Yeah, role reverse, and then like he just looked stunned, and like, and then the
Yeah,
next day he messaged me in his gratitude list saying, "Just joined the gym. I'm gonna start putting in the work," and I was like,
that's
"Boom!"
what's
Like,
up.
yeah.
That's the power of it, man. Like you're either going to intimidate people or you're going to inspire them.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I hope to inspire as many people as possible. If you're getting intimidated, it's usually because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing,
yeah,
you know. So good on you, man. That's the power of this is you know, you change yourself and then you start changing the world in the process,
yeah,
you know. Um so it's a beautiful thing, man. Sobriety is a gift and it's a journey. The journey's different for all of us. You know, some people pick it up real quick
yeah,
and they don't have too many setbacks. I wasn't one of those people. You know,
yeah,
it took me the longest time. But if I had something like this that I committed to right from the beginning, let's say, you know, however long ago when I said I had a drug problem, I have an alcohol problem. If this was there and I committed to it and I committed to everything else I do on a daily basis, who knows? Who knows if I would have fallen? I think it would have greatly reduced the chances of that happening.
yeah,
But the number one thing most guys don't want to do consistently is commit to the stuff that makes them uncomfortable. When you got on camera, you're taking all these deep breaths, you're trying to control your mind. You start talking, you get in the groove and you're like, yo, I kind of like this. This feels
yeah,
good.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
that's the power of having people that care about you because we're not going to judge you because we've been there. You know, Vinny
Yeah,
knows what it's like to have his fucking head humming for 10 months because he did so much damage to it. But he was
yeah,
around people that said, yo, brother, like you're good. You're going to get through it. You just got to keep showing up. You got to keep doing the work. Same thing with you. Same thing with all of us. We stop doing the work, we're done, you
yeah,
know? And you know, that's why some people are successful and some people are not. You know, relapse, you want to keep relapsing, feel free, bro. I don't,
for sure.
you know.
When
What's
you
going to
when you
break you? That's really what it comes down to. You know, Vinny had a week last week. He goes into a Home Depot, comes out, he's robbed. Next day loses his best friend. 2 days before that lost a big commercial job. You know, if it was the old Vinny, like something like that would smash you, dude.
yeah,
Like you'd be in the gutter for a month over that. But now it's like, yo, all right, I still got to get up at the same time tomorrow morning. I still got to do my shit. Like, what's up? You get through it. And then once you get through the hardest shit, then you realize who you are because you made
yeah,
it through and you didn't resort back to the old stuff that used to break you. Now you realize that any adversity that you're facing, it's going to make you. You just got to get through it, you know?
mm,
And that's you know really the gift of sobriety is If you're really putting in the work, you're building the man that can withstand those storms when they hit. You know, I lost my best friend, my childhood best friend this year too, out of nowhere, out of the blue. 46 years old. Dude had a heart attack at work, right? He wasn't living a healthy lifestyle, but still, nonetheless, 46 years old, they found him dead at work. And I got that call sitting there eating dinner with my wife and my mother-in-law. One of our boys that I haven't talked to in 20 years, he's calling me and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is Max calling for? He's like, yo, you didn't hear about Clint? I'm like, what? Boom. The dude, phone dropped. I'm like, my heart sunk. I'm like, what? Clint died? Are you kidding me? And you know what? I was at the track the same time the next morning, and I had one of the best workouts I've had in a while, because I used all that emotion to my advantage and I left it on the field instead of destroying myself. Because that's what our old selves want us to do. They want us to just destroy ourselves, but we use it to our advantage. It's a gift, man. You gotta learn how to harness it.
Yeah. Oh yes.
But yeah, man, I really appreciate you being willing to share.
Yeah, no, I
To
appreciate
share your journey.
Thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
So awesome.
Yeah, I know it's not easy. It's nerve-wracking, but that's part of this process. You have to face this stuff, because this is what's building and shaping the new you. The stuff that makes you uncomfortable that you used to run from, the new you faces that stuff. It doesn't run anymore. Yeah. The more you face things, you know, the more you solidify to yourself every day, this is who the fuck I am. There's no questioning anymore. I'm showing up.
Yeah.
You know? So keep putting the work in, man. And, you know, time will tell. You can do whatever the hell you want with your life. You become whoever you want. Get your daughters back, have a beautiful life with a beautiful family, raise them right, and you know, inspire other people in the process. You guys got any questions for Ashley, or anything you want to chime in on?
You inspired me so much, Ashley. Thank you for sharing that.
You're very welcome, man.
I was touched. I was I have no words. I just want to do good now. Thanks. Really touched me. It's amazing. It's amazing all the work that you did, and you're sitting there right now. It is amazing. It's great.
Well, part of this too, and what I like to see, Ashley, is when people get emotional, because the old version of myself, I wouldn't let myself feel those emotions. Yeah. So I see you cry, it makes me emotional. I'm not gonna sit here and hide my tears. You know, like, if I feel like I need to cry and I'm emotional, I'm gonna cry. And that's the difference between me now and the old me. I would feel emotion and I wouldn't want to feel it. I would just drink it away. You know, being a man is being able to express those emotions in a healthy way. That doesn't make you less of a man. That's what being a man is. Yeah, you know, truly, at its core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can't express that properly, especially if you have children, they are going to be emotionally damaged beings, because that's the type of household that I grew up in. I grew up with a dad who was there. He was the man. He was there for me with everything, except emotionally. Never saw him cry. Never had a heart-to-heart conversation with him where we were both emotional, to this day. And I'm 46 years old, you know, 45, whatever the fuck I am. So,
hey, Ashley, when you're talking about your mom, I can't remember the name of it, but it's something that happens where people, like, they know that they're about to pass, and they'll just get like this rush. So they'll either go like cook a meal, they'll hang out with family, they'll do like what your mom did, and then they pass. So it's really awesome you guys actually got to experience that, because not everybody gets that. And man, when you know, so we started with Mychael, and then I'm doing my usual thing, the core stuff with the weight vest, the planks, all that. And then you started talking. And when you push through, man, it made me want to keep working out. So my core is fucking smoked right now because as you were talking, man, it just kept giving me more energy to just keep going. So I was like, damn, man, these Sundays are getting rough.
Cheers, buddy.
Because we all got to witness you just literally grew in front of us. And that's that's why we do this stuff. Because now every time you want to talk moving forward, it's going to be easier for you because you went over that hurdle, man. There's a lot of people that as soon as you started to, tear up and cry and all that, they would have just immediately shut down and we would never have heard anything.
Yeah.
You pushed through, man. So pretty proud of you. It's not easy.
Cheers, Tony. Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's truly a gift, man. Like just watching the chat, I'm coming up on 6 years and like there's things that get stagnant. I'm not gonna lie. And it's like when you're so like I've done a lot of work in it and like and I'm very heavily in AA, but like as I grow, I get what you're saying. You start outgrowing people. I went through sponsors and they stay very stagnant, and that's hard for me. So this group has been so fucking big because a lot of guys start losing their way around this time, and that's a big fear for me. So watching like someone like you that's fairly new in sobriety and like Tony going through his thing and like Michael Sharon, bro, it's lit a different fire. Like it's reminded me, of where I was and that gratitude and like that growth and watching you guys grow. Cause I'm like on autopilot almost, and it's a gift. Don't get me wrong. Like I enjoy and appreciate every day of it, but like it's lit this other fire under me. And it's kind of like forced me to get back into serving. And it's so great, man. It's like, I mean it. Like I think about it all the time because I needed this, like to hear you and Michael and like your experiences. Like, and what's funny, even within the AA and speaking from my experience too, it all starts with not fitting in. That's where I start my story. Not fucking fitting in. I felt so uncomfortable. I was a jock. I'd fit in with the metalheads. I knew the nerds. I knew that, like, I was always like a fucking chameleon. I was never comfortable with like me. And I with that. It's unbelievable. It's like we just don't feel comfortable in our own skin. And it's like, and now as we build with this, I feel comfortable. I don't give a fuck what everybody thinks. I don't have to adapt. I could respect that person, but like I don't have to fit in with you. If I don't like you or if I don't agree, I just fucking disconnect. I used to go out of my way to be friends with you, and that's fucking exhausting,
because you didn't know you completely.
Yeah.
And I think once that you do and you have that full respect for yourself, then you're very, very selective about who gets access to your energy.
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
Because you didn't respect yourself before. So you need that attention. You seek the validation. Now you're in a different place. Like some people might see content that's shared and think that it's seeking validation, but it's actually seeking to serve.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I don't make content because I want likes. I make content because I want to change lives.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And God knows that.
Yeah.
He knows that. He knows what your intentions are inside. And when they're genuine, you save lives. When they're not, you get figured out.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut out, guys.
I think you have
I got to head out to Jen's dance. We're doing a volunteer thing today. So I'm a little late.
Have fun, man.
Appreciate you guys. God bless.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
God bless.
Cheers, brother.
See you, Vinny.
Peace, brother.
You got like the fucking video of the year for me, man. Just you just fucking and fucking say nothing. All you do is just run and like people won't understand that. They'll be like, what the fuck, But I felt every fucking ounce of that because I was like, yep. He's him. That's him, man. That's it. And then I posted that comment from one of the meetings because I just wanted to get your guys' input because like I wasn't judging the guy, but just for me personally, like it didn't sit right that he said, one, he put percentages on it because it's just ebb and flows. Two, he said only 10%, he put 10% in and 90% was his higher power. I'm like, to me, in my mind, I would set myself up for failure if I did that because all it would take is one thing for me to question my higher power. And if I'm only putting in 10% of the work, man, I am fucked.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, I don't see it that way. I see it as I'm putting in all of the work. My higher power, God, he's there. He's assisting me, but he's assisting me through, he gives me opportunities like this, the opportunity to work out, to be healthy, to make choices. Like I need all of that, but I still have to be the one that has to make the choice to
Yeah.
put the work in and to do it. So I just wanted to see what you guys thought. And I thought you guys' feedback was pretty good on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm probably like, I guess more like Vinny, I guess 60-40,
Yeah.
60 work, 40 God, maybe 70-30. You know, I think a lot of it is the work. And more importantly, it's the work when you don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
easy to do everything we're supposed to be doing when everything's good. But when we don't feel good and things are happening and we continue to do the work, that's when, you know, we really solidify with ourselves who the hell we are. You know, that's why it's so powerful in Matthew's mind when he's making a video like that after doing a half marathon out there. Who knows how cold it is? You know, you defeated yourself because I'm sure everything in you didn't want to fucking do it, but you do it. And then you get done and you have an energy that you can't buy it. You can't smoke it. You can't drink it. You have to earn it. And
Yeah.
that type of energy, man, it's like, it's so, that's why I go to the track every morning. And the colder it is, if it's raining, I'm like, fuck, dude,
I
it's so
feel
powerful.
like Thanos, and I had another rock to my glove. I just I got all that.
Well, fucking Ashley's got one of those today, man. He fucking put one on his glove.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
yeah.
What's that?
And fucking Mike running with his flag. I'm like, God damn, you guys are fucking crazy. Now I have to do more.
dude,
And
God
then
put
again,
that
I didn't
flag
want
there
to.
this morning. It was sitting on the ground and I was going past it and that song was on when I was going past it. I'm like, oh, this,
Yeah.
yes.
I
And
didn't want to
because I
do all that
literally,
fucking
I
planking.
felt a sense of victory knowing that you guys were going to be sharing your stories this morning and how
Yeah.
powerful it would be for everybody. So
Yes.
for me, it felt like victory because I knew that if I would have given up on the track, that none of this would have fucking happened. If I would have
Yeah.
stayed the old me and just been, well, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, mediocre Mike, none of this would have happened. So
Yeah.
I genuinely felt victory this morning, but it's not like I wave that victory flag and I'm celebrating. I'm like, I feel the victory, but I'm
Yeah.
staying locked in.
Yes.
Whereas in the past, the old versions of us, good things happen. It's like, yo, we got to go celebrate, man. We got to call the
Mhm.
Yeah,
boys. You know,
yeah.
now it's like, no, we got to stay aligned, man. You feel
Exactly.
that victory, but you can't let that victory consume
Well,
you to the point
we
where
know what it takes to get there now. You don't want to lose it. You know what it takes. You
that's
you
right.
Yeah.
you've been in through the process. You cut
Right.
out some people. You made some change in your life. You know your formula. So we're there. So you don't want to
Right.
fuck it. Mm.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, old
Well
me wouldn't
said.
have done all the planking, but I fucking remember posting in the chat and I told Ashley what I was going to do. I would try to increase on that first one. So last time was 2 minutes. This time was 2 minutes, 10 seconds. And then I said I'd go up
Nice.
one on the 4 minutes. So I had to do five today. And I got through four and I was like, ah, fuck my life. I told him I was going to increase by one. God damn it. But I did it, you know?
Savage.
Go on, Tom.
Yeah, that's
Savage.
good.
Yeah,
Brutal.
that's great stuff, man.
Mm.
All right, guys, join me in this prayer here before
Yeah.
we close
Yep.
out. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful meeting that we've had here this morning. We heard the testimonies from Ashley and Michael, and they were truly powerful. We know that you're with us. We feel your presence, and we're grateful. We pray for anyone who is currently caught up in the struggle, in the throes of addiction. We pray that you, your family, and your friends hopefully see the light one day soon. God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. Great
Have
week.
a good week, guys.
Thank you,
All right,
guys.
Yeah,
See you
see you
brothers.
guys.
later.
Thank you, man. God bless you.
God bless, man. See you later, boys.
Have a great one. See ya.
Have a good. Bye bye.